In this tutorial, I will demonstrate how to create a sample using the MashNMix.com application. To begin, you'll want to go to the samples page, and if you're not already logged in, you'll be taken to the log on page, in which case you can log on using a MashNMix account, in which you'll have to register for, or you can use a third-party account, Google, Yahoo, Facebook, which doesn't require any registration. I'm going to go ahead and use Google. And now you'll be taken to the add a sample page, and here what you're going to want to do is find the song that you want to sample on your hard drive, and then drag the song and drop it onto the drop song here box on the top of the page. When you do that, a status update of loading and drawing song will pop up, and once the song is finished drawing, you'll see it here in this audio viewer. There's three buttons: a play stop button, a zoom in button, and a zoom out button. Now, I already know that I want to sample the beginning of the song, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the beginning, and then I'm going to click zoom in which case it'll zoom in on your highlighted portion. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click play to listen to the song that I have loaded, which is again White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. I want to just get this bass line sampled on its own before the drums come in, and you also notice that it repeats twice. When you create a sample, you don't want any repetition, since it's pretty easily to replicate on the player on the home page of the MashNMix application. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight the first portion of this sample and zoom in once again. So now I'm going to play it once more, and I'm just going to try to get a feel of where I want to start and stop the sample. I already know that I want to start it around here and I want to end here, but I'm just going to listen just to make sure. Okay, so my assumption was correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the portion that I want. It looks like it starts about here and it ends about here, and I'm going to play and listen to this on loop, which it does automatically, and just kind of make sure that what I've highlighted is exactly what I want. Okay, I hear just a little bit here that I don't want. There's like a little scratch where I think the bass line of the downbeat comes in. So I'm just basically, once you already have it highlighted, you can move this highlighted by just dragging, clicking and dragging towards the end of the highlighted area. And so once I got what I want, what you're gonna need to do is fill out the form here on the right side, which has all the information about the sample. The first is the artist, which is White Stripes. Then we have the song name, which is Seven Nation Army. Now what's going to happen when I finish this song name is you see the fourth line is tempo, or the beats per minute. Now what's going to happen when I click out here is a service is going to go and try to fetch this BPM automatically, which it does successfully here. For less popular songs, this doesn't always occur. And what I'm going to do is I'll create a tutorial on how to use other BPM tools to calculate this. And then the next thing you're going to need to do is tag the sample, just describing what the sample is. In this case, it's kind of alternative rock music, and it's a bass line, so I'm just going to add those three tags. And then the fifth and final thing is a purchase link and where to purchase song. We always want to get back to the artist, so please try to do this when you can. I usually just go to Amazon.com and just search for the song, and here it is. And what you're going to do is just copy the link for the song and paste it here in the purchase link. And once you have that, you're pretty much done. You just want to add the sample. So by clicking this button, you'll see uploading song. This may take a while depending on how long the sample is. The samples are limited to 90 seconds, so please no long samples. And once it's added, you'll see a successfully added alert, which tells you that it was added successfully, obviously. And then in the future, if you're adding more samples of the same song, you can just close this out. Otherwise, you can just there's click to start a new song if you're going to start with a new song, and this will just clear the form. Now, the last thing that I encourage everyone to do is just to check and make sure that the sample sounds great. So go back to the home page and find your sample, which I'm going to do here, and then the search, type in the artist White Stripes. There's a sample that I added. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it onto the player. I'm going to repeat it so it covers all 16 beats. I'm going to trim it so I can listen to it on loop, and then I'm going to hit play. Actually, that sounded actually pretty good, but what I'm going to do is also I'm just going to try to match it to the tempo of this player to the tempo of the sample. And I'm also going to go ahead and turn this up a little bit since it turns it down. Okay. Now that I have that, let me give it one more listen. And that actually sounds pretty good. In my next tutorial, I'll go through what happens when this doesn't go as smoothly, and maybe it could be the BPM, maybe you just didn't sample it correctly. So I'll do a little troubleshooting on the next tutorial, and thanks for tuning in.